Good evening, folks. It's 22:56 on the 12th month, 21st day, 2025. I'm gonna have a look at these marshmallow-looking things up here. These with the square, roundy edges. See the square form, almost like a piece of toast with some white toast on it, frosting on it. Little pop tart in the sky. Pop tart in the sky. It's 21:12 today. It's like a Rush song. So I might listen to that later in a train wreck. Because it's fun to do. Let the percussion ring around whatever kind of thing was thrown out here on top of this cloud deck to change its dynamics. It went up like a tall plume, put quite a shadow around itself. But it won't put a shadow in every direction, will it? No, because not if the sun's only in one spot. Uh, so we're definitely see quite the plume there going into that storm from quite a tall tower. It's like making a chimney in the sky. There's something moving upwards while it makes a cloud. I see this quite a lot as I'm looking at the newer type ways of geoengineering our world. Its methods change all the time. You know, what I knew last week might not be the same today. And I might see something like, oh wow, I've never seen that before. So I'm just having a nosy around like these clouds that are over the top of that deck of clouds there. Excuse me, so I can get a good look at where these are going. It looks the direction these are headed is towards here. You see this line right here? So they're moving very, very slow. These particular storms that have been blown up this morning, coming in from Carpentaria. One of them is really heavy, so it's going to do a few maps for you guys, so you get an idea. You see this shape here, this V. It's right here is the point. See right there? Would that be the hypotenuse? How many degrees is this? About 45. 45-degree angle. Right in there. Well, as things get channeled into this area here, they're going to compress a bit. Now, this is an EMF line. You see the squares here. It clearly mapped out an area of heated influence, right? Okay, so this is gonna have a difficult time getting over there. So I call that shut. That door is shut, right? So it's going to stay in that path, but it's because this is so compressed here with these waveforms here, here, and here, making a sine wave like this in the sky, or area of solidity. It's going to tend to stall this out. So this is going to park. And some puffs to some of its moisture is going to come that direction, but most of the tracking is staying there. See this line here from the Mount Isa radar did? That's its radar line all the way down through here. That's also going to slow that storm down as it comes. It's on a beam like that. You can see it. It's even got one coming out that way. Does a plasma, makes plasma. Let's just give you a full shot. And so the directions this is going to take is pretty well mapped out. That's a big beam coming from there. You can even still see its continuance through that mess there. That's really going to shave that storm. When it gets whatever they chem here, it's going to separate it from that there. But the perturbation line, or the energy involved in where the beam makes it out that far, is not as intense as when you get like there. It'll be very intense. So let's have a quick peek about. Let's have a look at some of the Cambombia here. It absolutely is. We'll start with this big old scrotation out here. I'm in the middle of the Gulf of Carpentaria. You don't want to. Hey, Donald Trump, you want to go Gulf of America? That one. Everything he wants to change names these days. It's still water, you know. It's the same ocean if you think about it. All over the whole world, just going to give it different names, so you know where you're at. It's almost like a rubber ducky upside down. It's very round, this one. But let's look right in the center where these bombs have been going off to let this thing start tapping. See if I can get a hold of the slider. See the curve that went to that? Real briefly, you can see that. I go back about, but this would be maybe about quite a few hours ago. Yeah, This is 5 hours ago. Then the bombs that just blow this up. But you can see this haze here, this square area here, and this vortex here. It's not like there's a rock in a stream. They're causing an eddy to happen. This is all done with chemicals in a formation. That's really quite a cell they blown up here. If we look inside here, look at that straight line. Here, 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 boom, 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 boom. And later with the infrared, we'll look at the temperature differences inside this mess of stuff they blowed up. You can see it here. Because I did take the liberty of we'll turn some of the lightning off. Wow, let's look at the inside this cell they blew up. And that's the big marshmallow cloud there. They're from the nothings to the something. You see the coldness is inside it. Look at the vapors, like here, this right through Clyde. It kind of look, that's a geostorm all day long. If I'm lucky, I can bump this slider. Son of... Give me a moment here. Go back to the radar. This is the infrared. This shows temperature differences. So whatever's up here, it was a lot colder than what was around it. And they're coming very fast. So it causes a really sudden condensation because it's colder than what's around it. It'll be designed to make like 90 below zero. It's very cold. And this is in Celsius, in case you're wondering. So through looking at this, I could see like chemical catalysts, how they react with the atmosphere. Did it make cold? Did it make hot? Like this 4 dots right here. It's very geometric. Not round, toilet flushing supercell like you would expect to see in a spinning mass of storms. So it's telling me that once you have a cloud mass, you can seed it, right, and change its dynamics. That's what's going on here. They already created the cloud through geoengineering. Now you can modify it. But that's very high altitude, these temperatures you see. So we can then go over here and go temperature, right over here, what was 90 below zero? I mean, that spot. What altitude was yielding that temperature over here, right? So we can get a good idea. I would say that would be way up here. Don't even go that high. See, I'm saying is, so we look at altitude, so that is very high altitude, and that was at 30K, 30 kilometers high. But that's higher than a jet plane goes, higher than a Learjet goes. 30 kilometers. Learjet's 60,000 feet. That's usually the top of its operating. So that reserves it to balloons or military jets. I would go with balloons as the most likely deployment method, or drones. I have a lot of suspicions I can't prove, right? So I just say this is what I see. Because what I see is happening. In a geostorm that's going to affect this entire area. Look at that V shape there. It's all mapped out by a beam. It's all showing in the plasmas for days. It's going to stay excited. Stalling it right on out, bringing it to you right at Christmas time. It's a direct hit for this coastline here. And my heart goes out to the people around Tennant Creek, Mount Isa area that are about to experience 300 mils of water. Some areas 400 or 500 mils. There's a lot of water in these tendrils that got moved by the EMF. I showed it on a video this morning. Is this even rolling? Yes, I think we are. And hello to whoever said hello. I just did a quick boop. Yeah, you just got booped. But a boop, boop, boop. I mean, evenly spaced tendrils of storms out here, ain't they? Kind of obvious when you see the geoengineering. I haven't looked at Mimic since I've been back awake, because I did take a sleep. I said I'd watch your storms for you today. So let's pull up some of that data right here on Mimic TPW. Here, if you guys want to keep an eye on yourselves, just go over here and keep an eye on yourself. So it was carrying. And then Whamma. There's clouds in Lockyer Valley for you. Now look at these big beams that was coming from out here, this Jordan in Queensland here. See that there? And Alice Springs is absolutely busy frying your asses. Yeah, it's really everything is well pinned, and the next rads are holding it all. But if you look at the radar itself, it's almost unusable data. You have to say, come on, come on, you're failing this country like they don't exist. Northern territories matter. Don't be a see you in the NT just because they see you in the NT. That's like unusable data. It's why I had to go with this. I went with the satellite image and I have to read the actual chem for this storm. So here's where they're going to fail you in their forecast. A lot of people. You paying attention, Dave? Jeffrey? Paying attention? All right, let's go look at this one little rubber ducky looking thing down here. Mr. Fuzzy Balls. Now we got some definition to the top of the clouds that you can see from the sunrise. You start the obviousness of the squares inside the storm in a deployment like this. Let me zoom out a bit. We'll squiggle this for you. Yeah, have good luck at some of the chemtrails because this storm is just staying there. It ain't going anywhere today anytime fast. It's going to get a bit electrical later. This is a separate cell. Right. Let me show you what I see here. Right. This here is one cell. Right. This here is another. Okay. Now on top of that is another. These are all separate layers of the atmosphere. Here, this is what I'm seeing. Right? That's taller. Right? And this one here is separate from that one. This is going to be in the pain in the air zone. And that one here is separate. Alright? As they move these over the top of each other, right? So we'll get three separate cells on different layers of the atmosphere. As I bring them on top of each other into a straight line, that's easy to do. I just put an EMF line here. I'll move everything in that direction. It has to turn into three of them lined up over the top of each other. Then you'll end up getting your mesocyclone action start to form. Right? And the electrics will start to kick off. So until we see that happen, and it's in the process of happening now. If I look over here, I do see a scalar field here, here, and here. So as it bumps into this here, the solidity of this, it'll force them to do this. So right now we get dead, and it's going to do that. When it does that, it'll be big, it'll be vast, and you're going to have to look at the definition of the tops of the clouds themselves, like this square here. See that there's not, it isn't just one layer of the atmosphere that's being manipulated here in this particular picture. Even down here, this is like plasma haze. I'm not going to keep changing colors. Isn't that bright and beautiful? It's not so beautiful to have to understand it. And all in all, it almost looks like Rocket Man, kind of a thing taking off over there. So, hey, Higgins, you can draw a scrotum. Look, it's right here is where you live. Ooh, he went there. Now let's have another look at and this was at 9:30 p.m. my time. It's not local. If I tip on this, it should tell me it's local. Oh, it's not. Oh yeah, it is. There it is. Local time there was 7:20 a.m. So this is real early in the morning. Look at the pulsation on the edge of this square here, and it's square in the center. So they have a way of, well, even a square thing bouncing up and down can make a concentric ring around itself. Can we agree to that? Have a little pond isn't perfectly round, but what does it make? So this is the effect I see going on here. Boy, there's a lot of chem in this particular mass. It's going to get nasty out there. It's not Santa's sleigh in the sky here with all these magnetic particulates streamering off of this, and it's falling out. So people here are going to get the sneezies. It's going to be steamy and thick and tropical. Yeah, then they're doing and they're blowing up some more storms down here. That was just that big mass, and this is the one that's caught in that V. You see what Mount Isa did here? It's in this plasmoid haze. It's almost a perfectly straight line. I'm following it here with the arrow. And then it did this direction here. Or did that come from Richmond? Richmond's on. Richmond radar did this. Up, down, that direction. Wait, it has a long reach, that one. I could draw the straight lines right to it. Look what it did from here. So this door is shut. It has no free flow to the coast like a natural storm should. It's being held in place. Look at this down here in Queensland now. Because you got some action coming down here today too. It's going to be quite a busy day to be watching these storms. From the ground, I bet you don't even see a lick of sky. They're going to last long right there. Enjoy that 5 seconds of sunshine you got. You only get one sunshine, you know. They try to, as they say, reflect it back into space, or as I interpret that as blocking the sun. But they call it something different, so don't get fact-checked away. Look at all the dots here. Look like a honeycomb. Not so sweet to see in this guy. Not so sweet. Boom, boom, boom. Here look like somebody shit themselves. We have a case of skyria for sure. Skyria, skyria, all over you all. Boom, 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 boom. Oh God, look at that! Isn't that horrendous? Skyria, skyria, skyria. C-U-N-T. Boy, are you getting cunted? My shows are not for children's ears, by the way. They will hear that we're going to make a better world and leave a good one for them. Or we're going to die trying, ain't we? That's right. It's what we do. And they're not going to hear this kind of stuff. Look at this half-moon looking cloud here. That's like the impossible cloud. I've never seen one that looked just like that before. Have you? Those kind of clouds you saw when you was a kid, old folk like us, and they never did. Some clouds should never exist at the same time as each other. Why are all these clouds pointing at this one spot? Do you have a ship out here? Wait, some activity going on out there, polluting up your freaking skies over the Great Barrier Reef. That's not cool to do, man. That's pollution. In an area that's going to absolutely cop it over the holiday period is here. It's almost like they zoomed right in on where they're going to center things. This is the military ground here doing something. You've got a device right here. How square that is out at sea. Little lodge meeting out here. Yeah, I said it. Get over it. How's New Zealand looking? I haven't had a look at you yet. Oh my God, would you look at the gelt? Streamers upon streamer, a sickness mix over these folks. Yeah, that's not cool. They ain't a mask small enough to stop these particles. Yeah, they're nanoparticles. They'll go through every crack in the door and windows. They're in the room with you right now. It's fallout. That ain't a natural cloud. Look at that. Look at the ice crystal refraction of light properties of these ice crystals. That ain't the one that's like in your glass of soda pop. That's for sure. But you're getting popped. Well, it helps propagate EMF waveforms as well as certain things like strontium and barium. What a shame. I'm just looking at this. So Cook Strait will be shut. with EMF lines of viscosity. It's a viscous mix. It, it'll have a W factor when it gets cold. How thick is it? Like your oil has a W factor. 10W40 used to be the one I would put in my El Camino. Look at that scalar square here in the middle of the country. And this is going on as of about 17 minutes ago. So I'd say this is pretty fresh data here. Since the unusable BOM radar money that they spent doesn't seem to be adding to our eyeballs' ability to see any radar, right? This is a fail. This is absolute fail. How do them people out there in Mount Isa stay safe? I'm seeing clouds all over the top of them, but I'm not seeing anything like it's turned on even. Nah, they're hiding their beams. They have to keep it turned down. Because I see what you're doing. I see that the human didn't, Don't call that ground clutter. Ground clutter my ass. That's beams. Look at that. Bzzzt. The fryer is on. Yeah, it creates heated outflow boundaries. Hot rushing towards cold. And boy, do they have the ability to put some cold catalysts on the top of them storms. So we'll be keeping an eye on this as the day goes on. The geoengineering conditions are so obvious. And it's going to lead to what they say is this. It's going to be hard to pick the totals on this one. But judging by the EMF lines I just did, it'd make it a lot easier for me to say which map am I going to pick. That's what I'll do now. So remember, it had that V like this, where I say it's pinned, so I'm expecting higher totals in here. I see that that's separate from that because of those boundaries and what I just seen, but I'm not seeing enough here. So that's puzzling me. So let's look for a different one, because I don't know about that one. This one's possible, but to do this one, that other storm has to set. Do I see the conditions for that? Is there anywhere for this to go? No. That's very possible, because when it hits this line of stuff here, there's nowhere for it to go. There's a line of solidity all over it here. That's possible. I don't see it. How much water is there? No, it's not. There's not enough water there. So I'm going to disregard that one. That's good for Norman then, huh? Has Access even got any data up? That is most likely, judging from what I've seen. So I'm going to go with this one. It's got the triangle and all that. Like I put those boundaries down here where it can't. It's going to have a hard time going. Yep, this is most likely. So let's go with this one for the some of your totals over the next few days. And it's going to just park right over the top of you all the way through Christmas, leading to just saying they're going to need a boat. Terrible totals. Terrible totals. That was 37 centimeters, 35 centimeters. It's along its coastline, half a meter, and up, and up. I'm going to have to redo your totals because you're not, yours could change. But as of right now, they're slating, absolutely slating again, Sunshine Coast and all that to have it. I didn't like what I was seeing here at all. As I've zoomed up here, I was seeing Mackay taking a hit, and judging from my map, this was likely. We're going to have to keep an eye on all these things. Right now, we know what's going to happen up here. I just mapped that out. Fuck. How many disasters I cover at Christmas time? Was Jasper hit you at Christmas time in 2023? I was sitting on my computer going, oh my God, here we go again. Well, this isn't a cyclone, but yet the amount of rain, like a monsoon, is about to smack you up here. The monsoon rains, Robinson River, fucked. Oh well. All I can say about that, so well. So we're going to keep an eye on this as the day goes on. Thunderstorm wise, through here you're volatile, and with the cells I see being blown up, let's have a quick look about. The EMF's going to hold stuff off, cuffs and all that here, but later on you're going to get it. The flow boundary is right over here in Lismore Neck. See that gate where things can get out to sea. Otherwise, this backs up here, and it would really piss it down here, and they need that separate from that here. This is your next batch of rains here, outside Charlieville. You're compressing the chem now. As this waveform goes through, it tends to collide the particles together in front of it, like a plow or a windshield wiper. You know, when it starts out, it's got a couple drops on the blade, but by the time it finishes sweeping from across your screen, it's got a lot of water on that blade. Well, the same principle. It's colliding the particles so they get bigger. Yep. Yeah, the windshield wiper's a big sideways drip, briefly phrasing it. To the water droplet, it might feel like it's on an ocean. Look at all the chem bombs here. Wow. Look at all these little dots. Boom, 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 plumes. It's not supercells. This is sickness mix in the sky. This stuff falls out. You get the sneezies, throat burning, eyeballs all needing extra stuff in them when you got the contact lenses. Dogs don't like it. Bzzzt. Wow, look at Goldie. Holy shit. I'd be very interested if there's any rainfall of what the pH reading of any of the rain is, or the dew on the leaves. Because animals be drinking off them leaves. It's important we test them so you can get a pH reading itself. It should be like seawater. So let's see if it's acidic or not. And if so, we got a problem, don't we? It shouldn't be. You don't have no volcano going off over there, do you? Everybody farting all at once? Was it Taco Tuesday yesterday? Everybody having a pie, the mince pie in your pants. Oh my. Double, boy, did you get smashed. Look at the chemtrails over you. Boom, 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 blows. Boom, boom, boom. Chris crushes over here. You're in the gulag, Gulgarg. The Gulgarn gulag. Gulang, gulang, gulag. Gulang, gulag. The sky's making me sad. Yep, geoengineering very evident here, so be on the watch today. Keep an eye out for yourselves, because the BOM radar ain't going to do it. Yeah, so most likely you'll be able to use the infrared. The big totals are coming. So I'll keep you posted, and I'll keep an eye on things for you. And this is the next hotspot that's developing today. It's just to this side of Charlieville in here. We're rounding the corner. So keep an eye out. Be vigilant. There's the line right here, plasma line. Right here beside Coolanoola. See it? Right there. So that's going to be your next hotspot today. So I'll be watching for that. Stay safe, people. Ooh, there's a big line down here. Didn't even notice. It's a big country, man, to keep an eye on the whole thing. One guy tried doing it. Hey, it's the Tam Boy for the Tam Boys. Tam Boy, see shim. I see some chem. How's it looking down here? Let's go have a peek at Nuki out here. See if they nuked you with chem. Oh, wow, you boy, did you get smashed? Was it all night long? Was it moonlight management too? When a cloud just stays, everything's moving along, that just stayed there, didn't all night long in the square. Didn't go with the wind. I'd say that's EMF perturbation, nucleation, cloud condensates. Science sounding, isn't it? Because that's exactly what it is. See the scalar square loop to that over the top here? That's why you're getting these storms today. The V. Be vigilant, folks. Keep an eye out for your weather yourselves, and then you might stay safer. Nothing is safe. Life is no guarantee. Tomorrow is a promise unspoken. And so live a bit in the moment. Be conscious of your environment that you're in. Big love. Stay safe. Peace.